Welcome back. This young man sitting here next to me, I've known him for 30 plus years, Lake Tahoe local. Probably unparalleled knowledge of the real estate market here in South Shore.
Appreciate
You
that.
have a construction background as well.
Indeed.
You also have an affinity and love of sports, right?
I do.
So, former coach for South Tahoe High School.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good program while you were there. Some pretty good athletes came out of there. Actually, our director right now. One of your players as well.
Indeed. Yeah, Morrison Salmon back there.
Yeah, had a girl.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about sports, right? So, Padres sadly aren't playing for the World Series title this year, but the Chargers, finally, 20 years of losing bets to me, right? 20 years.
Yeah, back when the Patriots were good, I lost so many bets to this guy over and over. We doubled down every year. So I think it started at a six-pack of beer, and now it's like at a keg. But luckily, Belichick's out, Brady's out, and I finally have a chance. We got Jimmy Harbaugh in, and even though we're 3-3, there's hope. We're building culture. Let's go Chargers. Besides being in Los Angeles,
Okay,
hurts.
so you're a hardcore Charger fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it tough to show property to Raider fans?
Yeah, I don't show property to Raiders fans. I'm good without the paycheck on that one. No, all joking aside, yeah, it's tough. My oldest daughter's boyfriend's a Raiders fan, and it makes for some fun Sundays.
So he's probably not going to make the cut, right?
Yeah, that's it exactly. We've talked about this. Like, you want to marry my daughter, you got to switch up jerseys, bud.
Whew, okay. Hey, so we were talking earlier in the year about a couple of issues that are on the ballot, right? Some are pretty controversial and have deep impacts for the real estate market here in Tahoe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what people don't realize is Measure T is coming back full circle and will be finally decided on next month. Most people have already written this off. It's done. 6 years, $600,000 in legal fees, and that's going to be decided on and could be reversed. I mean, it truly is 50-50. Really strong argument to get that reversed, and that'll change things. And that kind of ties into Measure N, and that's going to be tied up again in court forever and cost a ton of money. And people just don't think about it like that. So.
I talked to Joe Lobb recently, right? We talked about Measure N. I'm like, you got to be happy about it, right? Because it's going to get tied up in litigation. He talks all about how the litigation is going to happen. It's probably, even if it does pass or it doesn't pass, either way there's going to be a lawsuit, right? You would think Joe would be for it. Joe's completely against it.
Yeah, most people, I mean, tax is the one thing. With vacation rentals, it was like, it doesn't really affect me so much, especially retirees up here. They prefer the peace and quiet anyway and not really think so much about a tourist-based economy. But with this one, taxes, that gets people's, people ruffled pretty quickly. So, and it's mainly for the misuse of what are they going to use the money for?
Right.
That's a big part of this. And it happens in every government.
Originally, they were talking, hey, it's going to be dedicated towards the homeless community, right? Or not homeless, but low-income housing.
Low-income housing.
But it's really not earmarked for that, is it?
No, it's not. And that's what happens every time. And, I mean, look at the tax dollars we pay. What is it, like $1.20 a gallon at the pump for California? It's supposed to go towards, like, infrastructural improvements and things like this. And then those things just don't happen.
Right.
And so why are we going to suddenly trust local government to make those decisions properly? It's not definitively earmarked for that at all.
You mean when you get your gas down at Costco in Carson City and it's $1.40 a gallon cheaper? That has something to do with some of the taxes that we're paying here locally?
Yeah, it's hard enough in California. You see how many people are leaving the state, and so let's tax some more and see if we can drive some more folks out.
Okay.
It's a tough place to live.
You know your stuff. You're pretty knowledgeable. If you're new to the area, you're coming to the area, and there's some questions that you might want to say, all right, is Tahoe still a good community that I want to invest in, that I want to move to, want to call second home? How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, my website's the best. Go to TahoeSalmon.com. There's really good information on there, statistical information and trends and things that are going on, and it's very, very current. And then you can get my contact information from there. Reach out. Let's talk about it.
All right. So playoffs are coming up for the Lady Vikings.
Yes.
Is it tough not to be on the sidelines as a coach?
It's really tough. And honestly, people should watch. I mean, soccer has been huge in this town for a long time, and football gets a lot of the attention. Go watch Lady Viking soccer. Yep. I really think this is the year. I think the playoffs are out in Fallon, state championship in Dayton. It's close enough for a drive, and go watch these girls play. They're a very talented group.
Former coach, also works for Compass Real Estate. nobody more knowledgeable that I know here in this community about real estate and all the issues that affect living in these communities. Get a chance, go to his website, look Mark up, very approachable,